You know what is troubling? What I find very disturbing? We'll use the case of Jordan Peterson as an easy example. The regressive left is flailing its arms, crying alt-right, misogynist, and transphobe. Professor Peterson is the new monster from the deep. They don't know what he looks like, but they know what they've been told. Almost daily, I read articles online or posts on social media sites from the authoritarian left listing all the crimes against humanity that Jordan Peterson is guilty of. His objection to Canadian Bill C-16 is wrong because nothing will happen to you if you violate it. Well, not very true, because what they are leaving out, and likely because of ignorance, is the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal. The Canadian Human Rights Tribunal is a special administrative tribunal established in 1977 through the Canadian Human Rights Act. It is directly funded by the Parliament of Canada and is independent of the Canadian Human Rights Commission, which refers cases to it for adjudication under the Act. The tribunal holds hearings to investigate complaints of discriminatory practices and may order a respondent to a complaint to cease a practice as well as levy fines. Decisions of the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal are reviewable by the Federal Court of Canada. Federal court decisions can then be appealed to the Federal Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court of Canada. The Federal Court of Canada can also issue and enforce decisions made by the tribunal if violations continue, and imprison an offender for contempt of court if a decision continues to be disregarded. This has happened in the cases of John Ross Taylor in 1981 and Tomasz Winnicki in 2006. So, my fellow lefties, if you still have any misconception of the possibility of imprisonment for violations of C-16, then you are living in the same alternate reality that you ridicule some on the right for. Another example, he refuses to call people by their preferred pronoun, which is patently false. Mr. Peterson says, and has always stated, that he would give the same consideration to anyone requesting that he refer to them by any pronoun the same way he would ask you to call him by a nickname. If that is too difficult to understand, then you might consider seeking help to escape the cult that you are currently a member of. Here's another one. Jordan Peterson is a dangerous man because he espouses the values of hard work and living an ethical life. Now considered alt-right memes designed to enslave all of mankind. People kind. That's Canada version. Some of the common sense principles of life that most of us find mundane are now in his best-selling book, 12 Rules for Life. If getting your life in order so that you may better achieve happiness or success is some patriarchal neo-Nazi jargon, then we're in a serious load of trouble, my friends. This list of his failings is long. There is just a small problem with this list. It is the talking points spread by websites like Vox, V-O-X. People are repeating what they've heard. And in any echo chamber, whether it is from the left or the right, these new facts take on a life of their own. Spread from one intersectional feminist to the next social justice warrior along to the next in line without so much as asking a simple question. Are these accusations true? No, much easier to virtue signal to your blue-haired feminist friend. Or, hey, lonely guys, having trouble getting laid? Well, don't end up like those ugly MGTOWs or desperate incels. You too can parrot third-wave feminist slogans, and those gender-fluid green hairs will love you silly. A lot has happened since the 2016 presidential election. Many opinions of how Hillary lost and how Trump won. It is painfully obvious that Clinton lost the most easily winnable election in U.S. history. Let's look at some of the candidates for blame. Did the Russians interfere? Well, the intelligence community is unanimous that they did indeed attempt to swing the election in favor of Trump. Did Hillary run a terrible campaign? I believe that she did. Let's forget about all of Trump's failing, as they do not matter since he won. Clinton and her campaign did not run on positive things like what she was going to do for our country. Or maybe she did, and if so, it got lost in the finger pointing and accusations. So not as much as why you should elect her as much as you shouldn't elect him. And let's just admit that it was a losing strategy. The precise thing that did not work for Democrats which we'll refer to as Plan A, call everyone a racist, sexist, misogynist, and alt-right homophobe, more than likely pissed off enough voters in favor of someone who had a plan for America. It doesn't matter what you think of Trump's plan. It was short, sweet, and bumper sticker variety. So now the Democrats want to take back the House or Senate this November. Do you think they'll come up with a Plan B? I do. And I think Plan B is to repeat Plan A. Like the 2016 election, it was a foregone conclusion by almost everyone, including the Trumps, that Hillary was going to win. We started off this year with the same assumptions about the midterms. I'm not too convinced that if the Democrats send out that blind old incontinent sheepdog of a Plan A, they will win anything. But let's look deeper into the bucket of slop the regressives have made for themselves. The reason I started this video with the absurdity of mischaracterizing Jordan Peterson, and this is repeated over and over again with other people and subjects, is that the authoritarian left have given the conservatives and people on the right the very ammunition they need to win. They literally have loaded their arsenal for them. The control left has allowed the right to weaponize the very subject they should own. What's that, you ask? Well, hang on to your bootstraps, young buck, because that be fake news. Yep. If you repeat things that you either know are false or allow an echo chamber to slander people because you dislike them, well, son, you've earned it. And look what they've been doing to Jordan Peterson. Case in point. Yepper, fake news it is.
True without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I recently did a video on the intellectual dark web, which you can see on this channel, or if my other one is reinstated, there. The regressives on the left publish such easily falsifiable nonsense about Barry Weiss's article in the New York Times about the intellectual dark web, and it was beyond absurd since one article would source incorrect information and pass it along as news into an endless continuum that leads to the altar of the Church of Social Justice. So, my dear friends on the left, if you are content to see the Congress controlled by Republicans for another 2 years and are set to have Donald J. Trump reelected for another 4 years, please refer back to Plan A. I don't expect to get many views on this channel in exile. However, if you are watching this, then it shows that you have chosen wisely, and please hit the like, make silly comments below, and please subscribe. Colonel Crappy at the Disturbing Trends Studio, over and out, at ease.